Hello besties, welcome back to my book channel. Today we are going to be spinning for my April TBR, and honestly I love the springtime. My birthday's in the springtime. I feel like it's the perfect transitional season from reading like dark, cozy fantasies and thrillers into more light and happy reads like romances per se. Honestly, this year has been an incredibly slow start for me when it comes to reading. I feel like at this point I will have read so many books, and this year I have not read very many. And of course, to all the besties who are returning to my channel, I haven't posted in quite a while. I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I do work a full-time job, and then on top of that, I work as an independent contractor doing small projects when I have time. And in the last few months, I ended up prioritizing a lot of my independent contractor work over my YouTube work, which I don't foresee being a huge issue moving forward. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in here to explain to everybody where I've been, what I've been up to, and why there hasn't been a ton of content on my channel lately. With all of that said, now we are going to be spinning the TBR wheel for my April reads. I do have a pile of all of the books that I own that are in the TBR wheel. But a lot of you guys know that my top two authors, I want to say, are releasing books this month. And so I don't have everything that I want to read on me. And I'm going to be completely honest, to a certain extent, I'm going to be reading books in this TBR wheel no matter if the wheel picks them. Like if some of these new releases don't get selected, I'm probably going to read them anyway. I just love doing this video and I have so much fun, and I know that you guys love it. So anyway, that was a yap if I've ever seen one. Let's jump into the TBR wheel. We're just gonna get started. I am now recording my screen, so you guys should be able to see all of the books that I own, books that I'm on hold for at the library, the new releases that are coming out in April. It's literally Christmas this month. The book girlies are being blessed with new releases. I'm so excited. So without further ado, we're just gonna spin the wheel, and oh, it feels so good to be back. I've missed doing this. All right, spinning the wheel for book number one. I think I'm probably gonna spin for around 6 books this month, and we will go from there. Martyr, you already know. The first book that the TBR wheel has chosen is Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. This is fortunately one of the books that I do own, and actually I'm not 100% sure. I'm almost positive that me and one of my very good friends are going to be buddy reading this book together. He owns it, I own it, and again, it might have been one of those situations where no matter what the TBR wheel said, I needed to read this in order to be a good friend. And so I'm actually pretty happy that this book got chosen. I will say this is definitely one of the more tragic and devastating books on my shelf. And so for someone like me, I have to be really careful and sandwich this book in between lighter books. I just know that I tend to be very deeply affected by the books that I read. So hopefully the TBR wheel gives us some lighter and happier books to also be reading in the month of April. But I don't actually know a ton about the plot of the story, what's actually going on. I know that more generally it circles a plane crash that happened in Iran. I'm not 100% sure. I'm definitely looking forward to getting into this, and if any of you guys have read this, please let me know, because I only know one other person who has read this book. I haven't actually heard a ton about it on booktube. The TBR wheel is already slaying, although I admit I only put books in here that I want to read. I do own other books. I'm just not feeling them this month. Okay, we are now officially spinning for book number 2. And honestly, I love how vibrant and colorful the TBR wheel is this month. I feel like that's so perfect for spring. The Guncle. This is good. This is really good. This is a book that I received for Christmas last year, technically. I wanted to say earlier this year. No. I received this for Christmas last year from my aunt. She's so sweet. She stalked my Goodreads and I added this to want to read. And so when I opened this at Christmas, I was like, oh my gosh, how did you know that I really wanted to read this book? Because again, I hadn't talked to anybody about it and I hadn't seen a ton of people talking about it online. And she told me that she stopped my Goodreads, which was so sweet. And so, yeah, I don't actually know a ton about this. It says on the back that it's about Patrick, or Gup for short, standing for Gay Uncle Patrick, has always loved his niece and his nephew. They love spending time together. And it seems like a tragedy happens. And so Patrick finds himself now as the primary guardian of his niece and nephew. And so I imagine we're following their relationship and that story. And honestly, it just sounds really, really sweet, really, really wholesome. And I've only heard positive things about this story. So getting this selected in my TBR wheel feels really good, because I haven't been like itching to pick it up, but I love having a reason to pick up a new book like this. I feel like this isn't the kind of book that I'm just gonna randomly pick off my shelf. I needed the TBR wheel to pick it for me, and I'm so glad that it did. So yeah, book number 2 is The Guncle by Stephen Rowley. That's crazy. 2 books by male authors. We do not see that very often on this channel. All right, spinning for book number 3. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, you guys know, if you know me, which books I want the TBR wheel to choose. Bum, 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 bum. All right, this is actually very, very good that this book did get chosen. So book number 3 is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. And I have mixed feelings about this, and please guys, do not come after me for this. I liked The Hunger Games when I was 12, let's say. I read it when I was 12, was not obsessed with it. I was definitely more of a Divergent girl, more of a Percy Jackson girl, more of a Harry Potter girl, okay? But I was a reader girly, and so I did read The Hunger Games. And so have not touched these books since I was 12, all right? The new one came out, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I think. Didn't read it because I don't care. However, my book club of like 10 plus girls have all chosen Sunrise on the Reaping to be our next book. And I don't want to miss out on book club, so I'm planning on reading this. I will not be reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is probably the improper way to do this. And it's probably a disservice, honestly, to this book that I'm going to make myself read it so I can participate in the book club conversation, because I will get FOMO if I don't. Yeah, so this one, you know, I needed to read it for book club at the end of April. I was probably going to read it, but this is really good that the TBR wheel chose it, so yeah, okay, book number 3 is Sunrise on the Reaping. If you guys are like, Olivia, you have to read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, let me know, because I won't be reading this. I know I'm going to procrastinate. I will not be reading this until the end of the month. So let a girl know. Let a girl know if I absolutely need to read the other one first, because maybe I will consider it. Maybe. Okay, the new releases that I want have not been chosen, and books that I've technically started and need a reason to finish have also not been chosen, so we're gonna send all of the good vibes to the TBR wheel, because I like to respect the wheel, I do, but you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. Ready or not, this is good. This is positive. The next book that the TBR wheel has chosen is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. This author just came out with a new romance called Promise Me Sunshine, I think, and I've heard really amazing things about it. And this book is an accidental pregnancy trope, and so I actually started this, and I got halfway through, up to page 174. And then I had to stop. And you might be asking me, Olivia, does that mean you didn't like it? No. When I picked up this book, I misunderstood. I thought that I knew who the love interest in this book was going into it. And so I'm reading this book, and partway through, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a love triangle. I hate love triangles. Like, I despise them. Because there started being these like flirty moments between our main character and another guy in the book. And I'm like, oh, that's so annoying, but I will power through. So I keep reading, and there keeps being all this flirtation between one guy and nothing between the guy who I thought the love interest was going to be. And so I was like, oh my God, this is the worst love triangle I've ever read in my life. And then I realized that I am dumb and it's not that guy. So I had to put this book down, because it's not fair to this to judge it based on incorrect preconceived notions. I did not know who the love interest was. So I think I need to go back and read starting from, I don't know, page 50, 80 something, knowing that it's actually the other guy. And so I just feel like this book got unlucky because I didn't know who the love interest was supposed to be. And so yeah, I feel bad. I am halfway through this. It's perfect for spring also. Can we just talk about, I don't know if it's gonna focus, but can we just talk about that gorgeous cover? Like, have you seen anything more perfect for spring than this? I have not, ever. I'm glad that we got this because I do want to finish this. I loved the writing. It was my fault. It was my fault, and I take full responsibility for that. That was book 4, which means we are going to be spinning for 2 more books. I'm going to spin the TBR wheel. Again, I'm just loving looking at this and seeing how absolutely full of color it is. It just feels so fitting for spring. Like, I am so happy about it. Yes. Am I so happy about this? Yes. Is this book 5 and neither of the 2 new releases have been chosen yet? Also yes, but we're gonna talk about that later. The 5th book that the TBR wheel has chosen is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. This is book 4 in the Magnolia Parks series, and turns out I'm a Magnolia Parks girly. I don't know if I saw that coming. This series is all about drama in London. It's extremely wealthy socialites in their 20s, and it is extremely entertaining. If you love like drama, essentially, which I do love drama. I hate to say it, but I eat that up. I love these books. They're so good. Again, this is the 4th book, and I liked the first book in this series. Like, I thought it was decent, but not anything revolutionary. Then I read the 2nd book, Daisy Hates, was obsessed with it. Then I read Magnolia Parks, the 3rd one, and I was like, oh my God. Turns out I love Magnolia and BJ too. Like, I liked them okay in the 1st book, and then I loved them in the 3rd book. And so we gotta just keep going. I mean, I am so excited. These books are pretty long. They don't look that long, but this series gets pretty chunky by the end. But these are books that honestly, when I'm reading a book, my mind just drifts back to these. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I was reading Magnolia Parks right now. I feel like that's the marker of a good book and a good series. So I'm very excited about this. Oh, I can't wait. But then I'm gonna almost be caught up with Magnolia Parks series. And like, when I don't have more Magnolia Parks books to read, I think I'm gonna be upset. It's okay. I'm not gonna think about that right now. I'm definitely a Daisy and Christian girl, and I know that there's more books coming. So I'm all good with it. I've decided. Okay, we have 1 more book left to go. There are 2 new releases in here that I'm probably gonna be reading regardless. So at least I've been honest with you all. I don't like to lie. So this is just one of those months where if I can't respect the wheel perfectly, so be it. Oh my God. How is this possible? Anyway, the 6th and final book that the TBR wheel has chosen for the month of April is The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. This book got picked in the last TBR wheel video that I did, and honestly, in Texas, it was just a bit too cold, honestly, to justify reading this book. I feel like I don't need my books to match the season. It's not an 100% essential thing, but I like it. And so if I'm gonna grab a book and read it by the pool, I mean, this book would be screaming my name. So I didn't want to rob The Roughest Draft the opportunity to entertain me by the pool. And yeah, this was gifted to me from my best friend. And so obviously I need to prioritize it. I need to read it. She gave it to me for Christmas. This is another Christmas book that hasn't been read yet. I do want to read this. Hopefully we get some nice warm weather in April. But yeah, I am definitely excited about this. Okay, real quick, let's just go through the official April TBR, and then I'll let y'all go. Also, can we just talk about how all of them, or most of them, are from the physical TBR? Slay. First up, we have Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, The Guncle by Stephen Rowley, Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, Daisy Hates the Great Undoing by Jessa Hastings, The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca, and we cannot forget Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. That is it. That's how you know I have not read these books since I was 12. I think that's gonna be it from me. Thank you guys again so much for your patience as I took some time off of YouTube and focused on some of my other side hustles, if you will. I really, really appreciate it. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below the book emoji. We're gonna keep it classic this month. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.